when Gaijin was promoting the new power update, they made it out to be this huge deal. I mean, it's in the update number, right? 2.0, or as the release version is called, 2.1. It's supposed to signify a massive shakeup, some big improvement, but that hasn't been the case. Beyond some surface level graphical improvements, Update 2.1 has done practically nothing besides break the game, to a quite frankly shocking degree at that. It's like putting lipstick on a pig, except in this case, you somehow also broke the pig's leg in the process. Update 2.1 has introduced a plethora of new bugs, as well as bringing back a few old ones. My favorite bug is when you switch your lineup, but when you get into a game, the game somehow mixes the two, and won't let you spawn, because of course you can't take torpedoes on your main battle tank. Although, MBTs armed with burrowing land torpedoes might be a good April Fool's event. I've also been crew locked for staying the entire match, and the bug where your thermals keep switching on and off, that's back too. And this isn't a bug, so much as incompetence, but the M4A3's mantlet armor was deleted for a while. Why? Because they removed it, changed it to volumetric armor, and forgot to re-add it. Pretty sure the same thing happened with the Panzer IV-J as well. Don't get me started on all the crashes people have been experiencing either, though I've been fairly lucky with those. And while the game looks a bit nicer, it certainly isn't running nicer. Buildings being destroyed can make the game slow down or freeze entirely, rendering some maps unplayable. DLSS, a feature designed to improve performance while retaining quality, makes the game blurrier, to the point where I don't want to use it. And after playing it for a few days, the new graphics honestly aren't that impressive. It just looks like they changed a few assets, upped the saturation, changed how clouds look, and messed with the lighting a little bit. It honestly doesn't seem that different. The retention of tank wrecks, while cool for a bit, eventually clogs up passageways and slows down the game, both from a gameplay and performance standpoint. They also appear as enemies on the minimap when you shoot them, so, you know, that's pretty confusing. And of course, we can't forget about all the wonderful balance decisions made this update. A Harrier at 9.7 with SRAMs, the missiles that can hit a target moving perpendicular to you, why not, it'll make a ton of money. 2 more MBTs for a nation that's already dominating top tier? Sure. You can't forget about the VFM-5 either. Finally, Britain gets a top tier light tank, and it arrives with missing thermals and a terrible round. I could list every single minor issue with this update, but that's not the point. The point is, all of these things have a root cause, and that cause is Gaijin's fundamental lack of QA, or quality assurance, for anyone unaware. This is something I've talked about before, but it has never been more relevant. Usually dev studios will have a QA team, people who purposely try to break the game, and identify any issues that might pop up. At this point, I'm convinced that Gaijin doesn't have a QA team. Seems like the devs try to fix some surface level stuff they identify while doing their own work, then they just pass it to the dev server, hoping that players will catch most of it. Problem is though, dev servers only last for a day. Not only that, but not everyone has immediate access to all new vehicles or features, only content creators. Not many people want to grind for a new vehicle only to play it for a few hours, let alone rigorously test it. We the player base are essentially Gaijin's QA team, except they don't give us the time or tools to get the job done. Dev servers are there more for hype than for actual QA. This system obviously isn't working, and something needs to be done about it, because these updates have been consistently broken. Gaijin doesn't intend to fix it. Their standpoint is that these issues are bound to make it to the live server, because after issues are fixed in the last dev server, those fixes end up breaking more things. Might just be me, but this sounds like a flawed argument. If your game is always going to be broken regardless of how much is fixed, your game has a fundamental issue. I don't think this problem is a difficult solution, which is to simply hire a dedicated QA team, or if they actually do have one, it needs to be expanded and given more time. This of course would mean less profit, so here's another solution. Change how dev servers are done. Give every player the new vehicles right away. Make it so they last days or even a week, with continuous updates throughout. And finally, after the final dev server is over, don't release the update the week after. Wait until at least most of the issues are identified and fixed. I thought it was funny that, after every update, it seems like the game just keeps getting worse. I always thought, well, it couldn't possibly get worse after this one, right? Unfortunately, I have always been proven wrong. Gaijin has such a nonchalant attitude when it comes to this, it is mind-boggling. The lack of transparency and communication certainly doesn't help either. Sorry for another rant video, but some of you wanted my thoughts on the update, so there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know the drill by this point. If you have any feedback for the update, leave it down below. I'll see you on the next one.